Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to explore one of the biggest questions out there, our connection to the divine. And we're going to do it through a really beautiful analogy. Using the wisdom of a great sage and the simple image of a river flowing to the ocean, we're going to uncover a profound way of looking at our own spiritual journey. So let's dive right in. So, where does this incredible wisdom come from? Well, it's from Kanchi Mahapariyava, a deeply revered spiritual leader from India. His teachings, his spoken words, were all carefully captured in a massive 7-volume series called Devathin Kural, which translates to the voice of God. It's just full of clarity on some really complex spiritual ideas, and what we're about to explore comes straight from his powerful discourses.
All right, so let's get right to the heart of it. The big question that philosophers and thinkers have been wrestling with forever. What is the actual relationship between that universal consciousness, God, and us as individual souls? Let's see how this amazing analogy helps us unpack that mystery.
Okay, so the first analogy Mahapariyava gives us is just beautifully simple. He asks us to picture the universal spirit, what he calls the Paramatma, as a huge, calm, endless ocean. Just imagine it, completely still, totally whole, containing everything. It's the source of all existence. Okay, so you have this vast ocean. Now what happens when a wind blows across its surface? You get bubbles. In this analogy, that wind is something called Maya. It's this powerful illusion of separateness. And the bubbles? Well, that's us. We are the individual souls, or jivatmas. We pop up, we seem totally distinct and separate, but here's the key. We're made of the exact same water as the ocean itself.
And this is the most crucial part. Just like a little gust of wind can pop a bubble, a gentle breeze of divine grace can help us realize what we truly are. See, when that bubble bursts, the water inside doesn't just vanish. No way. It simply merges right back into the ocean, becoming one with it again. That right there, that's the whole idea of unity.
Okay, so let's build on that water idea, but look at it from a slightly different angle. This time, we're not so much focused on how we're created, but more on how we transform.
It's a wild scientific fact, but think about it. The total amount of water here on planet Earth is constant. It never increases, it never decreases. All it ever does is change its form and its location. And that is a perfect parallel for the nature of consciousness.
So water can be in the ocean, then it evaporates into clouds, falls down as rain, and goes on to fill rivers, lakes, and ponds. It looks totally different in each state, right? But deep down, it's all just H2O. In the same way, the one universal consciousness, the Paramatma, appears as all these different individual souls. But the total essence, that remains completely unchanged and whole.
Now this is where it gets really fascinating, because the analogy goes even deeper to explain our own personalities and our natures. It brings up a great question. If we're all just rivers flowing to the same ocean, why are all of our journeys so different?
Mahapariyava actually uses real rivers in India to explain this. First up, the Son River. It has reddish water because it flows through red soil. This represents Rajoguna, that quality of passion, of action, ambition, and energy. It's a very dynamic, very forceful kind of path.
Then you've got the Krishna River. The name Krishna actually means black, and its water looks dark because it flows through black soil. This symbolizes tamoguna, the quality of inertia, maybe ignorance or a kind of heaviness. This path can be a bit slower, maybe more challenging, and not as clear.
And finally, of course, there's the famous Ganga, which is often seen as white and pure. This represents sattva guna, the quality of goodness, of harmony, light, and balance. This is the path of clarity and real peace.
And this, right here, just brilliantly spells out the core message. It doesn't matter if a river is red, black, or white. It doesn't matter if our own nature is passionate or kind of stuck or pure and clear. All rivers, with all their different qualities, are all flowing to the exact same destination, that great ocean of Paramatma.
So, what does that final part of the journey actually look like? How does the river, or for us, the soul, finally find that ultimate sense of peace? Let's take a look.
A river's journey often starts with a lot of noise and chaos, right? As it's tumbling down a mountain. Then it flows with incredible speed and force across the land. But as it gets closer to the sea, it starts to slow down. And in that moment, it merges. All the noise, all the turbulence, it just stops. It finds this absolute ultimate peace. Our spiritual journey can often feel a lot like that.
There's that old saying, water finds its level.
And a river is really only at peace when it finally merges with the sea and finds its true vast level. And for us, well, for us, that means finding peace through humility. It's about understanding our proper measure, without all the ego, without trying to be something more than we are.
And this brings us to what I think is the most powerful, most beautiful conclusion in this entire discourse. It's a message of just immense hope and grace.
Just think about that for a second. When a river gets close to the ocean, the salty seawater actually travels upstream a bit to meet the fresh water. It comes forward. In the exact same way, if we approach the divine with real humility, letting go of our ego, the source itself comes forward to welcome us. The final union isn't a struggle we have to win. It's a graceful, mutual embrace. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to think about. Looking at your own life, your own nature, which river do you feel like you are? Are you the passionate red, the inert black, the pure white, or, maybe a mix of all three? Just reflecting on that can tell you so much about your own unique path to the ocean.
And there you have it, our journey with the river and the ocean. If you found this analogy helpful for your own path, please do like this and share it with someone who you think might also appreciate it. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more explainers on profound ideas just like this one. Thanks so much for watching.